Hello, Bigfoot enthusiast. Scott here from Squatch America.
And Hannah, domestic goddess in the paddy wagon. Almost couldn't remember my name. It's been a long week.
It has been a long week. So,
I'm going to tell them all about it.
we're going to tell you all about
as
it
soon as you play the intro.
after this. All right. So, what are we talking about?
Coffee?
Besides
We are
that.
out of coffee beans, everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, the divorce papers could be flying any time now.
This close.
Yo, it was a sad moment when I heard you start grinding the beans. I was like, oh no, we're out of beans. And he says, we're really out of beans. We have no more beans to put in there. It's like, no. So if anyone's in Roseburg, if there's a really good roastery here, let me know. If there's a good roasting company here in Roseburg, Oregon, because that's where we are.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're in
How is that for a segue?
Segway. I thought you'd drive those. Okay.
Well, those are segways.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to come out and see us this weekend, we are going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to be
at the Douglas
County Fairgrounds in Roseburg, Oregon.
For the Sportsman's and Outdoor Recreation Show.
Yay.
And we got to tell you about last week.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be talking about basically all the cool stuff that happened to us last week. And inevitably, and this is the first time we had did a sportsman show, not a Bigfoot show. So we were wondering what would happen.
Some of our people were looking at our calendar going, where are the Bigfoot shows?
Yeah.
We aren't at, that's the beauty part. We are not doing Bigfoot shows right now. Even though we're kind of on a little Bigfoot tour. My cousin called it a Squatch tour.
Squatch tour.
I love it. She's an old choir person too. So we think about choir tours.
Yep.
So we're on a Squatch tour, but we're not doing Bigfoot shows. We're doing sportsman shows. And that's been really, really cool.
It has. Yes. And so first we're going to say hi to Dale. And yes, you bought us coffee last week. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you to Dale and to Danny.
Yep.
Yep. And we appreciated that very much.
Yep. We really did. And hello.
Now we just have to know where to go to spend that money on coffee beans. So
hi, Arthur and
Michelle. My friend Michelle will be seeing us in Anderson.
Oh, cool.
Michelle got smart. Michelle went to squatchamerica.com and bought her shirts there because I said we might be out of them by the time we get to Anderson. And guess what? We're about out of them, and we're only on show number 2.
Yeah, we're on show number 2. We've did a desperate order with our t-shirt company, and they're shipping them to her mom's house. So they're going to meet up with us in Medford next week. So
and she might even, I don't know, if we can get them here by tomorrow, that would be great. But we've got about 10 shirts left for a show that's supposed to have like 15,000 people come through.
Yeah. So to get back, to what we wanted to talk about.
I don't know what we're talking about.
So last week we were at the Eugene boat and sportsman show, and this little Bigfoot above us here, this guy
Bob
the Bigfoot. I can't scroll over him. But anyway, maybe does this work here if I do this?
No, it does not.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It shares your screen, not your cursor.
Oh.
Can you do the laser?
I don't know. Let's look.
Check it out.
Laser pointer.
Yes, you can do the laser.
Oh, yay.
So follow the little bouncing ball like a cat.
Boop, boop, boop,
That's Bob. Next to Bob, though,
is Tag
the Kodiak bear. And let me tell you what, I was like, man, not a fan of him, but PETA.
No.
This poor bear.
It was hilarious, actually.
We're
going to get to him in a minute. In fact, I think I got to do. All right. So anyway, we were at the Sportsman Show. We had our booth set up. We had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people come talk to us. It was a blast.
And just like the organizer was hoping, some of those people were there because they wanted to talk Bigfoot.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't care about the target range. I wish I had gone to the Target range. What was I thinking? Maybe I'll go this time.
Yeah.
They didn't care about the Target range. They didn't care about the boats and RVs for sale. They didn't even care about the awesome beef jerky, which was pretty dang awesome. They wanted to come talk Bigfoot.
And the beer.
Oh, yeah.
They have beer. Hi, Lockbeard. Just came on. And Dora.
Yes. So,
hi, everyone.
Anyway, okay. Denise said hi. We've got you guys on the TV.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so they came to talk Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah, they did. And we got, oh gosh, story after story after story after story from people. It was fantastic. I couldn't keep track of them, so they were coming so fast. We were writing them down, and
hopefully those same people, if they're listening tonight, will go to our website and submit the report form, because that's just way easier.
Yep.
So anyway.
So what Hannah was talking about, poor Tag. Now here we go. I want to show you this. This is Tag. I think, yeah, poor guy. They actually have 1,000-pound Kodiak bear touring with us on this tour we're doing, and it's kind of fun. It's like we're in a carnival because we're moving with all the vendors. Like
a bunch of carnies.
A bunch of carnies going from show to show to show together. It's a blast. I mean, here's us. We're babysitting this Bob, this 800-pound.
Actually, pretty close to how big we think they are.
Yeah. I think his face is a lot wrong, and he's got claws. I don't like that.
But anyway, the frame, the girth of him.
The girth and the frame and all that stuff. He weighs 800 pounds, and we have to set him up and take him down and stuff when we move. But he's animatronic, so he can move. And we have him stand still.
It's kind of what he does.
Yeah, it's kind of what he does. But
let's talk about Tag so we can explain why he's so pitiful.
Okay.
Because even Don is going, poor thing.
Poor thing.
Yeah, I know, right?
So anyway, we're moving this big animatronic Bigfoot, and I tell you, it's a lot of fun because we got remotes and we can make him move, and we have him stand still, and people stand beside him and take pictures, and you can press a button, he'll reach up and grab your butt. It's pretty cool. But anyway.
Back to Tag.
Poor Tag. So this is Tag. He's 1,000-pound Kodiak bear. He is alive. He's not stuffed. I thought there was going to be a stuffed bear there, but when we got there, he's an actual bear. But the thing is, it's wintertime, and this is about as energetic as he gets because he's still in hibernation. So he comes out of the cage. He flops on the ground. They feed him marshmallows, and he barely moves to eat them.
It's really sad because you can tell he's used to being around people. He's trying to engage. A couple times when I was visiting with him, and I don't call him Tag, I call him Pumpkin, because one of the little girls, I kept going, oh, hello, sweet Pumpkin. And she looked at me, she says, is his name Pumpkin? And I said, no, but I'm a granny, and so everyone's name is Pumpkin.
Okay, so
hold on, I'm not done with my story. Okay. Anyway, he'll play a video, but he was trying so hard to engage, and I was talking to him, and you could see him, he was like putting his paws in front of him and trying to make eye contact, and he would just go, the poor thing.
Yeah, it's because he's in hibernation.
Yeah, and there's something in there. They've got a hormone.
They got a hormone that their bodies produce in the wintertime that just knocks them out.
So you have a...
Yeah, I think this is the video. Yeah, here it is. You can see that he's feeding him marshmallows.
And he's going, oh.
Here, I'll make it full screen. Oh, I messed it up. But that's about as energetic as he gets.
It kind of reminds me of our Rottweiler Morgan. And she'd look at her dish across the room and go, I don't know about that.
There's a spoonful of whipped cream.
He's a little more eager about the whipped cream. Yeah. There's no chewing involved with the Cool Whip.
Yeah. So that's about as energetic as Tag gets.
I wanted to go in and cuddle with him.
But there's something that was really interesting. I'm going to back up a slide here. That to get into the Bigfoot world.
You're not backing up. There you go.
All right. So I was looking at this bear, and he's not quite as big as the Bigfoot we have for our show. And he weighs 1,000 pounds. So I'm starting to think that I might refigure how much we think Bigfoot weighs. If you think about that. Because if that Kodiak bear is 1,000 pounds and he's probably only comes like to the chest area here, if he was to stand up, of this Bigfoot. See, this Bigfoot's actually 9 feet tall. It's 10 feet with the base on it, but from floor to, or from his toes to his head,
you
is
know what?
9 feet.
I need to stop you there.
Why?
Do you think Bigfoot weighs more or less?
More.
Okay, I was gonna say this one's 800 pounds of animatronics. It's not 800 pounds of muscle.
Right. So he's got a steel frame, a few motors in him, and the rest of it just foam rubber stuff. So, and he weighs 800 pounds. So I'm thinking real Bigfoots
might weigh more than that.
Footses.
Bigfoot. One Bigfoot, mini Bigfoot. We've had a whole show on that.
Oh, yeah. So
anyway, there's our whole setup.
There's our whole setup.
That's a great angle. Look at that.
Yeah.
They brought in our very own forest. I got to water it every day.
Yeah. So we got a forest coming in for this one too. They actually went to a nursery and rented a forest. But so if you're going to be in Roseburg this weekend, or any of you are near Roseburg, Oregon, come on down and see us this weekend. But
absolutely.
But here's the cool part. Here comes the cool part. They even got my truck in, by the way. That was kind of fun. And we got to get our truck in this one. That means.
And you should have seen the guys. You should have seen the guys come in and look at that truck. They about peed themselves. It's like, man, that's a man's truck. Yes, it is. Don asks, is the poor bear doing a yoga pose?
Yes, he is.
He's doing yoga nidra.
Yeah. Oh, I should add that to. Never mind. You just give me ideas, Donna.
Oh.
Don't do that. Okay.
Michelle, it's not really sad. I mean, the bear is, he's supposed to, the saddest thing about the bear is he's supposed to be in a cozy little cave with his sweetheart, with Cindy Bear and Boo Boo Bear, and, but you could tell he's quite accustomed to people. So he's probably a lot like Gentle Ben anyway.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart. So anyway, yeah, we were in today when they were putting up his cage today in this new place. But so we were talking to people all weekend. If you notice, my voice is a little sore because blah 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 all weekend.
In fact, Monday was a wash.
Yeah, Monday we were just but
does this feel any different from when we were doing like stage shows?
Yeah, about the same.
Yeah.
But anyway, so here's the cool thing. We're going to share with you a couple people that we met over the weekend. Yep. And we're going to share with you some stories. And I'm actually working with one of the guys who is this is a sportsman's show. So you got a lot of these guys who are setting up booths here, like the guest speaker for the sportsman's show, the head guest speaker, the main attraction guy. He's an outdoor guide. He guides people hunting and fishing and things like that. And even he had a Bigfoot encounter he told me about. I'm trying to get him on film, but he's worried about his job. But if he comes out saying something happened to him. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, but we did meet some lovely people, and this first one we're going to talk to you about.
But before we do that, we have.
Oh, have what? Oh, dun dun dun.
We have to sell you something.
We have to sell you something.
All right. Are you ready?
I am ready.
You're ready. So, friends, we live in a world that's slipping away into constant uncertainty and danger. And just one of our YouTuber vlogger guys even now said, yeah, the pandemic, finally everyone's kind of in agreement, it's about over, but now there's just going to be another new catastrophe. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Oh, he's getting the coffee. Anyway, we live in a world that's slipping away into constant uncertainty and danger. Imagine if something unthinkable happens tomorrow. Within hours, global supply chains can break down and never start up again. We've learned that lesson the hard way. We went shopping for salad yesterday. That was an adventure.
Yeah.
No salad. Anyway, that means the smart thing to do is prepare for the worst, even if the peanut butter hasn't hit the fan yet. You should store emergency food to get you through whatever happens next. And we highly recommend My Patriot Supply, America's largest emergency preparedness company. Your shipment will arrive quickly in unmarked boxes. And I want to just kind of tag onto their little script here, because we ordered like on a Monday, and by Thursday it had been delivered. So it comes really fast. To avoid being a victim and survive the coming uncertainty, click on our affiliate link below to visit My Patriot Supply and grab a few. And they're having a sale right now. Anyway, if you order the 3-month supply, it's $150 off.
There you go. And we're back.
We never left.
We never left. So anyway, this is going to be fantastic. I hope you guys stay tuned for this. Here we go. So I met this lovely lady, and I'm not going to give
really
you,
was lovely.
I'm not going to give you her last name, but let's see. I need to flip that.
But her first name is
Yvonne.
Yes, she's
Okay.
a lovely
lady. She's an artist, and this is one of
lives
her
here
paintings.
in Lane County.
Yeah, well, they're in Lane County.
They're in Lane County. Yeah, we're in Douglas County.
We're in Douglas County right now. But she's had a few interactions with the Squatch people. And
she does consider them people.
And she does consider them people. And what's really great is I got to talk to her for quite some time. And we had a little lull. And luckily, I think she was waiting for a lull to come talk to me. And then, and since then, she's like joined our Facebook page and a whole bunch of stuff. She's really nice. But being an artist, you can draw what you see, right?
Right. I was trying to draw something I saw today, and it just came out looking more like a blob. I'm not an artist.
Yeah, she came up and she had a manila folder in her hand. And she handed it to me to look at her pictures. I looked at her pictures and she said, I brought that for you. So I got to keep the pictures. And
we're going to frame them and hang them on our remaining empty cupboards.
Yep. So anyway, she had 2 of her drawings and then a photograph she took of a footprint. And I'm going to keep that one under wraps for a while. I need to look at it a little bit. But here we go. Here's her drawings. Obviously a male and a female of the Squatch people. Now I've heard a lot of stories from a lot of people, and there is a lot of stories out there where people said that I looked into this thing's eyes and I saw a person. I didn't see a gorilla. And like sometimes there's people who say I had a gun, I would have shot it, but it looked like a person. I didn't want to go to jail for homicide,
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And I love these pictures that she drew. I'm going to make them full screen so you can get a good look at them. But they do have all the features.
Except for one, and she acknowledged that.
Okay. What was that?
She said that if she could, because she just was sketching them like in real time, but she said if she sketched them again, she would have given the pictures a more conical head. This wasn't quite conical enough. But
right. So here's the male. And we have had digital renditions of what Bigfoot looks like before. And if you put this side by side, it does have all the stuff that I look for when I see Bigfoot pictures.
And this is one of those digital things that they do based on description.
Yeah,
right?
This is a digital based on description, but you got a flat mouth.
Very broad mouth.
Very broad.
Very straight.
Straight mouth. You get this little bulbous nose, this little cute little bulbous nose, like his little cute nose.
Is Bigfoot a Jew?
Yeah. Anyway.
I'll claim him.
And then you have this brow ridge, and she has all these features
and the
on
deep
there.
set eyes.
And the deep set eyes. So like if you can compare it with Patty, I know this is kind of a blurry picture, but you got the deep set eyes, the little bulbous nose, the straight mouth. And even with the photo that I took, this is the one I saw. You got the dark eyes, you got the bulbous nose, you got the flat mouth.
That's the first thing we looked at was that picture, the drawing in comparison to your picture.
Yeah, we did.
It was like, whoa.
Whoa, yeah. So I thought it was so cool. And then she had a story. And she told Hannah, about it. Well, she told me too, but she actually talked to Hannah longer because she sat down with her after somebody else grabbed me.
Yep.
But
Well, I'll share what I can remember.
okay.
My social work days got me used to writing everything down. If I don't write it down, it didn't happen. But what she told me was
About the females.
Yeah, she actually says that she has interactions with the juveniles, and the ones she drew were juveniles, and they would come play on her property. Yeah, and there's been some gift giving back and forth. She goes out with peanut butter. Has never tried Nutella, but I did key her in on the Nutella.
Okay.
But she said one of the most endearing little things is she'll watch the young females practice braiding on each other's hair.
So if you look
and
close,
then she told Scott something else about that picture.
About what?
This picture. She didn't tell me this part. She told you this part about the braiding and why that's significant for the females.
Yeah, I guess she said she believes that this braiding thing, you can see she drew a braid on her photo here, that they practice braiding, and
it's the girls.
It's the girls. Only the females braid their hair, and it's just one braid on the side. And it's kind of interesting when she started talking to me about braids. I recalled back that there's this thing. There's actually a museum in Nebraska. No, Nebraska. Yeah, Hastings, Nebraska. A Bigfoot museum, and
we're supposed to go visit that.
Yeah, and they have all these photos of these horses braided hair, and I know that horses,
they don't have opposable.
They lick each other's hair and stuff, and in fact, Squatch and Cowboy Joe and I have talked about it, but some of those, how does they get braided?
Braids require opposable thumbs.
Yeah,
you have to be able to.
I know, but if horses lick hairs, they spin it and stuff. But some of these look really interesting. But I thought, well, that was kind of a clue to me. It's interesting when she's talked that the girls braid their hair, and I often think they're intelligent enough to do so. But
based on the pictures, based on her sketches.
Yeah.
Based on her sketches, if you were just looking at these sketches, not knowing what you were looking at, would you be thinking animal or human?
Yeah, you'd be thinking more human.
I mean, you can see it in their eyes.
Right.
And if you look at the female, this picture of the female, first of all, she has more whiskers than the male. That's kind of funny.
Right.
But she's also got a little smile on her face.
Yeah.
And then guy there is all macho. I'm the man. So
start throwing any questions you have about Bigfoot and braids.
We're either going to think you're totally like listening on beta, oh my gosh, what are they going to say next? Or you're bored out of your skull and you're just looking for the next drink. So any questions about Yvonne's story and her experiences with the juveniles? She says it's only the juveniles that come visiting. She agreed with me that juveniles, we've heard this several times over the weekend, that the juveniles haven't learned yet.
Right. Yeah, and that's a theory I've had for a long time. Yeah. It's if you see a Bigfoot, it's usually a juvenile messing up or playing with you or something. I don't think the adults do so much. So, check quit? Guess not. Okay. Are we still on?
Yeah, we're alive.
Okay, all right.
It's so quiet out there.
It's so quiet out there.
Chirp, 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 chirp. Someone say something, please, or else I'm going to have to read you another ad and sell you something else.
Oh, there we go.
Does she observe them or does she interact with them? Both.
Both.
I mean, by interact, it doesn't mean she goes up and shakes their hand or talks to them, but they do exchange gifts.
Yeah.
She's been, in return for her peanut butter, she's been given pretty stones. She'll go out and there's like and I've heard this before, there's like a shared gift giving area where she'll take the peanut butter, and she takes the peanut butter in. She'll unscrew it, rip off the foil and screw it back on. And then she'll find the empty jar in the woods later on.
With the lid unscrewed. It takes fingers to
Yes.
do that.
So she'll take that out, and then she'll go out a few days later, and there will be a pile of pretty rocks stacked up very neatly, or something like that, So, but she does observe them. She watches them from a distance. She says, she's always very respectful. But and she says it's taken many, many, many years. And it's taken, so obviously that particular tribe, clan, family unit, whatever, perceives her area as a place that's safe enough for their young to play. So,
and Denise asked, are both these pictures of juveniles? And yes, they are. She said that's the ones that actually interact with her. Both of these are juvenile,
and she has seen them face to face from a distance, but face to face.
Yeah. But she said that what I thought was really cool is the
what's really cool. Don't read the comment. What's really cool. I know you're trying not to laugh. We'll get to it.
Okay. Is that what I thought was cool is the braiding thing. And like she said, she draws them like she sees them. And after talking with her for a while, and she talked with Hannah for a while, I have no reason
to not
believe Yvonne here as the artist she is. And you got to remember where we're at, boys and girls. It is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are in Oregon. In fact, we are in the Cascades of Oregon. Just, where's it at? Up the road is a place called Skookum Meadows.
Skookum is one of the tribal names for...
Yeah, Skookums is a tribal name for Bigfoot. So there's a lot of history here.
It's very active around here.
Very, very active.
In fact, the Pacific Northwest, really, people are shocked. I had a teacher friend of mine, an old teacher of mine from high school. She said, "Are there Bigfoot outside of the Pacific Northwest?" I said, "They're all over the world."
They're all over the world.
And she says, "I never even considered that they'd be anywhere but the Pacific Northwest, because this is where you hear about everything." Well, but if there was a place that was lousy with Bigfoot, it would be the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, I like how everybody logs on and goes whoop. So whoop.
Yep. So hey, Danny's back and Gordon is in the house, and Joe says he thought the first one looked like Travis Tritt. Well, you got something there. But hey, there are only is it 7 or 11 human genotypes?
Yeah, something like that.
So I imagine there are even fewer of that with a smaller population such as Bigfoot. So now what comes first? Does Bigfoot look like Travis Tritt, or does Travis Tritt look like Bigfoot? So Dale wants to know, does the Pete female have more facial hair? Is that how she drew them? I think that female probably has a bit of facial hair.
Yeah, she said, when I asked her about the pictures and we were looking at them, and she said, not all of them have the same amount of facial. It's
just like us.
Just like us. But she said the females tend to have pretty furry faces. And if you look back at like Patty from the Patterson film, her whole face was furry too. So I'm beginning to wonder, from descriptions and stuff, that the females do have more facial hair, just the opposite of humans, basically.
Well, I don't know. I could give a Bigfoot a run for her money based on the hound hairs I'm always plucking out, but anyway, it's true. Ladies, it's true, right? Yeah. We just keep those things a secret. So hey, greetings to Nancy in Texas. We are coming your way in the spring.
We are.
Although I will have to say, it's kind of getting hard for us because we're getting a lot of invitations about around here, and it's like, oh, that sounds like so much fun. So much fun. Anyway, all right, Nick. All right, let's real quickly remind everyone, if you have not liked and subscribed and clicked the bell on our channel, please do so. Share this channel like crazy. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithms. So get the word out. Share these videos on your social media. Click share, and you can share them straight to your Facebook page. I don't know if you can share them on Insta. If you've got a Twitter account, gosh, they need something other than political vitriol on Twitter. So please share us on Twitter. Share us everywhere you can think of to share us. And we hit 1,600 subs this week. Let's shoot for 17. Okay.
Yep. Heck, let's just make it 2, and even 2,000.
Okay, 2,000.
Yep. All right. So
what are you going to do when we hit 2,000?
I don't know.
Drop in the chat what he needs to do to reward everyone for hitting 2,000 subs.
2,000 subs. There we go. So,
I'm not going to shave my head, although I have thought about it.
I don't have a lot to shave, actually, so that's probably not a big...
He is growing this out, though. Look at that. We'll get a female Bigfoot to practice braiding on that.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Flat Rock says the female looks like the bearded lady in the old movies.
Yeah, it does.
Well, that is a genetic... Oh. I was going to say that's a genetic anomaly, but maybe that's not so anomalous after all.
Maybe it's not. So, shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Pole dancing. That is not going to happen, Joe. Okay.
He meant me.
Oh, you. Okay.
Okay, so question, folks. If you've been following our Facebook pages, you will know that we've got a running joke called Yoga Misinterpreted.
Yeah.
I was thinking that would be a great calendar. What do y'all think?
Okay. So, anyway, moving right along.
Digga-dun.
The next gentleman I talked to was Kurt. I don't have a photo of Kurt to share with you, which is fine. But he did share with me. He sent me, I gave him my phone number. He texted me all the photographs he had of some weird tree stuff. And you know my feelings on tree structures. I think probably 80% of the ones that people say are tree structures are mostly just windfall or snowfall or whatever. But there are out there, especially the ones that are pulled out of the ground, turned upside down and stabbed back in the ground. That doesn't happen without hands. But these ones here were really interesting to me because they weren't actually tree structures per se. So you ready? So this is what Kurt showed us. Are these lovely things. Now, he said there's this area that has these tree markings like in a big round loop. You know, there's a lot of them out there, but they're in a...
Talk.
What, I am, but...
You're getting distracted by the chat.
I know. So...
Here, I'll cover the chat.
Don't do that. So anyway, so if you take a look at these, what I was looking at the photos, they're very interesting because they're like, I want to say claw marks.
Are they?
But they're not claw marks because claws leave scratches in trees. I've seen bear scratches. I've seen porcupine scratches. I've seen stuff like this.
Those are awfully big.
These are awfully big. Yeah. And then if you look up at close, though, they're like, if you look closely, they're actually kind of indented, like something stuck their finger literally in the bark and just kind of scraped it away.
Okay.
And there's a little tiny, like a fingernail mark in the center of all of them.
All right. So I just want to say that the chat is not in timing, chrono alignment with our speaking. Yeah. It's a little behind because of lag. And so, Dora, could you please put in the chat what you are referring to with hypertrichosis? Because one, I don't even think I've heard that word before.
I have.
What is hypertrichosis?
It's a disease that, not a disease, but more of a genetic anomaly that some people have, that they grow hair all over their face.
Okay, so she's talking about our bearded lady.
Yeah.
Bigfoot. Okay, yeah. Thank you. I thought it had to do with the trees. Okay, so, all right. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah. See, I know stuff.
You know things that I don't.
I know. So, what do you folks think about that? I mean, it looks like, to me, it's actually a finger. But what I'm saying is, do you know how much pressure it would take to just go up and wipe bark off a tree with your finger.
Well, remember that guy who gave us the twisted off trunk and you could see the finger indentations in it?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I've seen that before. Where
Because that guy we gave
but that was more crushed. These are like something just went, and it like you're like it was wet toilet paper basically stuck to a window. Don't ask me how I know that, but anyway, you swipe it and it just peels it off. But they found it on. He found it on several trees, and they created like this. It's like demarcating an area on these trees. So it won't. I don't know why it's doing that tonight.
Our chat's being silly.
Yeah. It's weird. We can't see the last chat. We just see the name and we can't see what it's saying.
Yeah. So Gordon said something. I'm sure as soon as someone puts, there we go.
There we go.
What type of tree is that? Species and location.
Okay. Let's see. Let's moving ahead here. These are. They look to be. They are fir trees. In fact, I think they are. I want to say white fir. And let me see the. Yeah, they're white fir trees.
And location is
The location
Western Oregon.
Is Western Oregon in the Cascades, about Central Oregon. So yeah, they're white firs, and white fir has kind of a really soft bark anyway. To be honest with you,
It's a softwood.
yeah, it's a sapwood.
Soft.
Well, and another thing it has, I don't know if you see these little, like they almost look like veins in them. What we do up here in the Pacific Northwest, if you want to start a fire, you go pull some lichen off a tree, and then you take your knife, and these are little pockets of pitch, and you can cut those pockets open and sop it up with the lichen, and you can light it with a match or a striker, and it'll burn for quite some time to get your fire started. I mean, there's a trick for you. Bushcrafting 101.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So welcome back, Craig. He says Nana and I are back. They got stuck in rush minute traffic.
Rush minute traffic.
That's
in
about
LeGrand.
right, yeah.
Rush minute. The whole
So
minute.
Donna wants to know if we mentioned how long and wide those scars were.
Okay. So here's another. Well, I didn't get there so far, but let's go back.
I would say based on go back one too, so we can see it in relation to some of the limbs. Like
right. Okay.
So those are.
So if you figure these limbs on the side over here are about the size of a human finger, so they're about twice as thick.
Yeah. So about 2 inches. It's about 2 inches.
Yeah.
Inch and a half, 2 inches
Inch
wide.
and a half wide.
And length, it looks probably about 4 to 5 inches.
4 to 5 inches.
So based on how big we're starting to think they are, that could be a finger width.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But what was getting me is you've got this part here where it looks like the bark was just wiped away, and then they have this line. If you notice, there is a line on all these. They have this little line down the center, like maybe the scrape of a fingernail.
Mm-hmm. Gordon asks, could they be balsam? Balsam bark is harvested for its medicinal value by the northern tribes. They never take the complete bark, only small sections.
No, it's not balsam. It's actually it's white fir for sure.
But so okay, so in my recent studies of herbology,
Christmas trees, that's what they are.
Yes,
just giant Christmas trees.
My recent studies of herbology, Madam Sprout would be so proud of me.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how dogs and other.
Okay.
Can I finish?
Well, I'm going to answer a question. They ask how high these trees are. These trees are probably 75 feet tall.
So how high on the
marks?
tree?
He told me the marks are roughly 8 feet off the ground.
So
yeah,
maybe a juvenile was trying to climb it. Anyway, so but I want to go back to Gordon's comment, to Pappy Two Bear's comment about medicinal value. So you know how other animals instinctively eat plants that will soothe their bellies, or you know, like when a dog's got an upset stomach, they'll go eat grass or whatever. What if and you know, before the onset of the wonderful world of Western medicine, people went to nature for medicine.
Mhm.
And could that have been possible? I mean, Bigfoot is obviously much more in tune with nature than we are. I'm trying to remember if I've read it. I know that pine sap and pine needles can be used for medicine.
Mhm.
What about fur? I'm thinking probably. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'll have to look in my lost herbal medicine book.
Right. And they even got some on the ground. Oh, by the way, Lockbeard, these are fir trees. We don't have birch trees here.
Yeah.
Where we're at. There
Well,
are no birch trees.
if there are birch trees here, it's because someone went to a nursery and planted them in their front yard.
Yeah.
There
No.
And actually most of the birch trees you find in the Pacific Northwest are diseased because they're not supposed to be here.
Yeah. Yeah, we have pine, fir, and cedar. And that's about it in our forests up here.
Yep. Okay. Any more of Kurt's story?
That was it. It was really interesting. He thought it was kind of interesting.
Craig says he's seen some. Could they be bugs? Could it be bugs in the tree?
Bugs? Well, usually bugs will
Take out a tree.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying that they aren't, because we don't know exactly what this is, but
And we're just looking at pictures.
yeah. Well, I'm going to take a really good look at the trees from now on. When we actually got invited by
Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts. They want me to take a group of Boy Scouts out Bigfooting.
After we're done in California.
Yeah, after we're done in California, we're going to run back up here and to the Bend area and do some
serious squatching.
But yeah, we're going to take the Boy Scouts out for bait. I mean, squatching, and then
You're funny.
Yeah, and Papa Craig said, yeah, the bugs are usually under the bark. That's what I thought, and sometimes they ring the tree and kill it and bring it down. But I don't know what those marks are. Just to be honest,
very interesting.
Very interesting.
So, Donna suggested scars from a hunting stand.
Ooh, that is very possible, actually.
Could be. And Danny, are you saying that the Cree used fir trees for medicine?
I imagine they did. There's usually medicinal everything,
Yeah.
I just don't know what it is.
I'm working on learning all that.
Yeah. She has a book.
I've got several books.
Yeah.
I have to be careful not to spend all my money on like small container gardening and herbal medicine books right now, because I'm going a little cray with that.
Yeah. So let's talk. So what do you think of our weekend finds?
Yvonne is on. Hi, Yvonne. We already talked about your beautiful pictures.
Look at your beautiful pictures.
But everyone, Yvonne is on. So everyone say hi to Yvonne. She's under Y Undersby right there in the chat.
Oh my gosh.
There is our artist friend. If you have any pictures, if you have any questions that you want to ask the artist who drew those pictures,
She's in the chat. We got 15 minutes.
Yeah. In the meantime, while we're waiting for those questions to pop up, Patreon, www.patreon.com/SquatchAmerica. You can sponsor us for $3 or $5 a month. Buy me a coffee. You can do gifting in $5 increments. And I already talked about YouTube.
Patreon.
Buy me a coffee.
All the stuff. You can join us down. We also have a thing on YouTube. I think you can click and join our channel. Oh,
yes, our Facebook group. Yes, yeah. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, you'll see a link to that on the description of this video. So we've got about 25 people in the group now. We're not quite sure what we're going to do with the group, except occasionally have post-show chats, and we'll always announce that ahead of time, because what that's going to look like is we will go into the Facebook group and open up a video chat room.
Yes, and then we can video chat after the shows or whatever.
Yeah. And so we will, but we'll always announce that ahead of time. Like, you know, for instance, next week, I don't know what we're talking about, but let's say we're going to do it next week. We'll put it in the email newsletter saying, hey, this is who we're going to have on. And we're going to follow that with a Facebook video chat in the group after the show. So that way you guys can be prepared for it. So anyway.
So that's cool.
Danny wore his new Squatch America shirt to the dentist. What the dentist did.
Cool.
Oh, that's another announcement. In the next few weeks, we are going to have a new shirt design up on squatchamerica.com. We are expanding our line of branded merchandise. So watch for those. Okay, so Yvonne, there's a question. Have you ever seen females and toddlers or juveniles together?
Oh, like mom and kids.
Yeah.
So let's
we'll wait for Yvonne. Oh, she looks like she's answering. Of course, we can't see it.
Can't see it until
someone else put another chat in so we can see it. And then
I'm gonna put one in myself. I'm just gonna put X marks the spot. There we go.
Right,
now I can see it.
She would love to see the big ones face to face. Maybe we're sending mental messages.
There we go.
All right. Yes, Yvonne. You know what? Yvonne is very blessed to have this other people group visiting her.
Fantastic.
And that is, I would say, the mark of a truly gentle soul. So.
Yep. So everybody's saying hi.
Everyone's saying hi to Yvonne. No, but she's seen both the sissies, both sexes prints, and some playful gifts. Yes.
So that's awesome.
Okay, we are down to 12 minutes. Flat Rock, you have twice. You have seen what twice? Adults and juveniles together? Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Just trying to keep up.
Just okay. So if we're so while we're
waiting for a conversation
in the chat, I want to throw this up real quick. If you happen to be in the Roseburg area this weekend, we're going to be at the Douglas County Sportsman and Outdoor Recreation Show.
There's beer.
There's beer.
And coffee. This place has a coffee cart.
What's really cool is our booth is on
this wall.
The beer's on this wall, so you can, it's not that far. I mean, you can see it.
He's saying you can bring him a beer. That's what he's saying.
And it's called Bigfoot Brewery too, so it's Bigfoot beer.
This is squatchier country than Lane County was. I mean, the Bigfoot culture.
Yeah,
the further south we go, pure south, really into Northern California.
Yeah, and when you get in Medford, we're going to be in Medford 2 weekends from now, not next weekend. There's like a week off in between, so we're going to get a little break on a weekend. But in 2 weeks, we're going to be down in the Medford area, and if anybody knows about the Medford area, west of the Medford area is a place called Cave Junction, and there's some famous sightings down there in Cave Junction area. In the what's it? The Oregon Caves? Is that what they're called?
I don't know.
There's actually caves down there. In Cave Junction. Imagine that. But there's
we've got people in our audience, I think, that would love Cave Junction.
Yep. So it's very squatchy.
It's the home of Myrtlewood. too.
Yeah.
You can come see Burlwood and Burlwood's art and everything. So Daniel wants to know if we have the picture of new design. We don't have it on us, but the shirt's gonna say it's gonna have a little Squatch America logo right here on the upper left chest. On the back, it has a big design that has like a Bigfoot face, and it says, that classic, Bigfoot saw me, but no one
believes him.
But nobody believes him.
Yeah.
So it's a humorous shirt, and we're going to start expanding our line, and that one will have several colors, several styles: the unisex style, the women's cut, short sleeve, and the long sleeve. A nice coffee with a wee bit of Irish mist sounds delightful, actually. Yes. Yeah. I'm not into the beer, but I am into the coffee.
And Donna asked, could you get DNA samples from those scars in the logs? There's quite possible. It depends on how denigrated it gets.
Yeah.
And plus it gets mixed, especially if it's in biological material like this, and if it's rotting, it gets contaminated and a whole bunch of stuff. And I would love to just DNA test everything in the woods, but the problem with that is it costs hundreds of dollars to do one test.
Yeah.
And so
that's why have we even sent that blood sample in yet?
Not yet. It's going, no. But so there's that.
It's very cost prohibitive.
Yeah. So, but I think that's it for the
that's it for the shoe
slideshow. So let's talk. We got 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, we've got 7.5 minutes, but
if you see us throw X in the chat every once in a while, that's us trying to see what's underneath the thing. There we go.
They have at least one white Squatch in Cave Junction.
Ooh, I have heard that.
Is that like the white stag, and it's like good fortune if you see it, or
it's a really old Sasquatch,
portent of your death. Like the Irish or the Scottish banshee.
Yeah.
You made the coffee too strong, by the way.
I always do. Yeah, so she said there's a white Scotch in the Cave Junction area.
White Scotch?
Squatch.
Is that like a white Russian?
Yeah, something like that.
You don't want to see me drink a white Russian. That would be scary.
So.
All right. So with our last few minutes, does anyone else have anything for the good of the order? Mm-hmm. Have we missed anything?
Would you like to go back and see anything? Oh, there is something I wanted to share now that Yvonne is on. So I don't know, Yvonne, if you have ever seen, there's a phenomenon about, they think that Bigfoot braids the hair of horses. So the braids that you've seen are a lot more, are they more, I guess?
Is it twisted or braided?
Twisted or braided. That's, I guess, the word. And more cleaner than just this. Looks very kind of ragged. But to me, it's kind of messy. So there's, yeah.
So that's a question for Yvonne.
Yeah.
Danny, is a custom text on a shirt possible? Not through our manufacturer. You can always do something for yourself on Teespring. You can design your own and print it. But for us to do, honestly, if we were to do a custom text on a shirt for you, that would cost you in the end about $60 for a t-shirt. And I'm sure if you want to send us $60 for a t-shirt, we'll do whatever you want. But the setup fees are pretty big. So that's why we wait until we find something that we really want to kind of mass produce.
Mm-hmm.
So here's interesting. Where are you going?
Okay.
You're all over. All right. So Yvonne says that she has some friends that have about 200 acres where the people hang out. And she says she's seen have seen them braided and almost crocheted.
So it's very
Intricate work. Yep.
Yeah, and I know Squatch and Cowboy did a whole video about the Nebraska
The
museum in Nebraska, and they have all these pictures of these horse braids.
Yep. So okay, I'm gonna.
But so they're probably a lot more, how you say, intricate than what.
So this is a yeah. Lockbeard says that is just a horse tangle.
Yeah.
But even in Yvonne's picture, you see the intricacy of the braiding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So. All right. Well, we are down to 3.5 minutes. The dog needs out.
So.
We were commenting at the beginning of the show how very human these look.
Yeah.
Not in like they're a hoax picture, but how human these Bigfoot renderings are and how human Bigfoot likely is.
Would it be weird if I said I think she looks cute?
She does look cute. It's that braid.
Yeah.
She looks very innocent, actually.
Uh-huh.
I would name her Maggie.
You would?
Yep.
Does she look like a Maggie?
She does.
Okay. That's awesome. So, oh gosh.
It does not look like that, Danny.
Okay, cool. So she does know about the horse braiding.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Danny keeps saying that. It is not. But during the weekend, we did have one guy. I have a in our Bigfoot museum place. I have set up a section. I don't know if I have it right here, I think.
Yeah, it's over on the far wall.
Yeah. So in our Bigfoot museum,
right there,
right here in this far wall, I can't. Oh, it's not laser pointing anymore. What the heck?
Right there. That's okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right here, I have a whole section dedicated to hoaxing
and the most famous hoaxer. And Danny, your favorite hoaxer is there featured.
Yeah, we do have him there. In fact, it's kind of funny. We had a gentleman come up, and I don't recall his name, and not like I would share it anyway, but he when he was looking at that, he pointed that out too and agreed with me right off. He goes, yep, that guy's a hoaxer. And come to find out, I was talking with him for quite some time, actually. He spent a lot of time in the booth, and he actually was dating Ron Moorhead's daughter for a while. So if you know who Ron Moorhead is, he's the Sierra Sounds recorder guy.
He'd be an interesting guy to have on our show. I bet he'd come on.
Oh, yeah, he would.
All right. So Lockbeard says that he always says on his channel that they absolutely must be a race of Homo sapiens. Actually, absolutely another Homo species. Most people, it's true, most people cannot wrap their heads around it. We were talking with another vendor this weekend. And, the 6-day creationism is beat into most of us. And if it's not that, what is also beat into us is the faulty evolution model, where we are the pinnacle of evolution, and there's nothing else really in competition. But so I think the safest bet is to always just keep your mind open and to realize that none of us knows everything, and there's always something new to learn, and the universe is a strange and mysterious and awesome place.
Yeah, and that's something I've said a lot. As an anthropologist, what makes Homo species a Homo species as opposed to an ape, and that's the fact that we walk upright and have small canine teeth. So these things walk upright and have small canine teeth. That absolutely makes them
a Homo species.
A Homo species. just by morphology alone.
Yep. Well, it is the top of the hour. Let's have, yes, it is.
Got 1 minute.
We do not. We're over by 35 seconds.
Oh, no.
So I was going to get rid of that so we can see what's under there.
So,
So yeah, Ron Moorhead would be a good guest to have on one week. We should get in touch with him.
yeah. Okay.
All right.
Get a hold of Ron. We actually run into him quite often, and you'd be surprised how often I run into Ron Moorhead.
So with all that said, it is time to say goodbye.
Oh.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and goodbye. Don't sing. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, for being with us this week. We really love all of you. Make sure you like, subscribe, click the bell, share this with everybody you know and people you don't. Spam their little messengers, but don't get put into Facebook jail. Yeah. And we, and of course, our job is.
Well, she never told me to get there.
Investigate the unexplained.
Not to explain the uninvestigated.
So until next week, you keep watching and we'll keep squatching. Bye.
It's not playing. Why isn't it playing?